Tonight on the program, we find out why many illegal Thai workers choose to struggle their way to work overseas. Also in the program, we explore an exhibition about Saudi Arabian culture and its improving relations with Thailand. And we talk to a Thai application engineer in Vietnam. Sawadee-ka, I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. Recently, many Thais have been deported from South Korea as they were suspected of seeking work instead of being genuine tourists. The recent death of an illegal Thai migrant worker in South Korea while awaiting deportation has also shed more light on this problem. Tonight, we will try to find out why there are still so many Thai workers taking that risk in South Korea. At the beginning of this month, more than 100 Thai nationals were deported from South Korea after immigration officials at Jeju International Airport refused them entry. A few days later, another large group of Thai nationals were also deported back to Thailand for the same reason. In fact, there have been numerous cases of illegal Thai workers masquerading as tourists, traveling with a tour group to South Korea and absconding to find work once they pass immigration. South Korea's Ministry of Justice revealed that in early August alone, over 700 Thais arriving on Jeju Island were denied entry, and another 79 who had arrived in tour groups were found to be missing, could not be traced, and did not return to Thailand once the tours were over. Due to the rising number of illegal entries at Jeju Island, the ministry announced last week that all foreign visitors to Jeju Island will soon have to register with the KETA pre-approval system as an entry requirement. In spite of the mass deportations, South Korea remains a popular destination for many illegal Thai workers. The evidence for this is the videos on TikTok, which are attracting over 10,000 views each, in which they document their lives as illegal workers in South Korea. Some videos also reveal the salaries they earn and provide a complete walkthrough from how to prepare your documents to how to dress to avoid being caught by immigration officials. Meanwhile, the Royal Thai Embassy in Seoul has issued advice to Thais and other foreigners who are currently residing in the country illegally, suggesting that they travel back to their home countries by October 31st, 2022, or they may have to pay a fine and have their names blacklisted from entering South Korea. Now let's have a look at the statistics of Thai workers overseas. But if we only focus on South Korea, the number of Thai workers going there seems to be increasing both for legal and illegal workers. According to Thailand's Department of Employment, about 12,000 Thai nationals used to enter South Korea to work legally every year. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the number has fallen to only about 3,000. This year, about 52,000 Thai workers have been working overseas legally between January and July. Most of the legal migrant workers from Thailand are in Asian countries, followed by Europe and the Middle East. Apart from South Korea, which is apparently the most popular destination, illegal Thai workers are to be found in other countries as well, such as Australia, Japan, Canada, and the Lao PDR. As to why there are still many Thai workers willing to work illegally overseas, Thai PBS recently spoke with two Thai nationals who were about to fly to Jeju Island to work there illegally. They were both subsequently caught. They explained that they were willing to invest almost 24,000 baht to book a tour to Jeju Island to find farming jobs there because their current monthly income of only 10,000 is not enough to make a living. Meanwhile, the Department of Employment's Director General Prayut revealed the main reason why Thai migrant workers take that risk: higher salaries.
บางคนก็อาจจะวัดดวงนะครับเพราะว่าพอมียอดตัวเลขหรือยอดเงินที่ระบุในโซเชียลว่ามีค่าตอบแทนเดือนละอย่างเช่น 100,000 บาทหรือ 150,000 เนี่ยทุกคนก็อยากมาเสี่ยงโชคเช่นบางคนอาจจะคิดว่าอาจจะโดนหลอกแต่เขายอมไปนี่คือเหตุผลหนึ่งที่ยังมีแรงงานไทยยอมไปทำงานโดยผิดกฎหมายนะครับ
Keep in mind, though, that most illegal migrant workers earn low incomes. Thailand's minimum wage is about 330 baht a day, which means that even if they work every day of the month, they will earn only 9,900 baht. In contrast, South Korea's minimum wage is about 2,000 baht a day. This means that they can earn at least 60,000 baht a month, even if it's manual labor. For other Asian countries, Japan's minimum wage is roughly 2,400 baht per day, with which they can earn about 73,000 baht. While Taiwan's minimum wage is roughly 1,780 baht per day, which means they can earn at least 54,000 baht per month. The Director General also revealed that currently there are 25 labor control checkpoints across the country to screen for migrant workers who are about to fly overseas to work illegally. To avoid getting caught, he urges all Thai workers who want to work overseas legally to contact the department and its offices, which are available across the country. Like we said before, there are many Thai labor workers working in various countries around the world. We had a chance to talk to some of those Thai workers previously, whether it's in Malaysia or in Singapore, as they reveal what has urged them to work overseas instead of Thailand.
ต่างประเทศมันไม่เหมือนบ้านเรานะครับไม่ว่าจะประเทศไหนไม่เหมือนจริงๆนะครับ
Sompan is among countless Thais currently working abroad. He has been in Singapore since 1999. He decided to leave his family, a wife, and a young daughter behind because he was being offered double his salary. Singapore is where he found his opportunity in life. It is the same for Ponchai, head of a team at a scaffolding company in Singapore. He works in the construction industry with a stable salary and 12 to 14 days of paid vacation. For Ponchai, it's not like life was so harsh for his family in Sakon Nakhon, but as a farmer, he could not see how he would be able to achieve financial freedom. Rice farmers usually have to borrow from the bank or other sources to invest in their paddy, while they cannot know for sure how much money they will make each year, Ponchai said.
อยู่ไต้หวัน2 ปีก็แล้วก็กลับมาอยู่เมืองไทยรู้สึกจะประมาณ2 ปีได้แหละครับแล้วก็เข้ามาทำงานในประเทศสิงคโปร์มาแต่1998จนถึงปัจจุบันนี้ครับเพราะว่าจริงๆผมก็เป็นคนบ้านนอกเนาะผมก็พ่อแม่ก็เคยทำนาแต่ไม่ใช่ว่าไม่มีที่ไร่ที่นาก็มีเยอะๆแต่ผมก็บอกว่าผมขอไปทำงานข้างนอกก่อนขอไปเผชิญข้างนอกก่อนแล้วถ้าไม่ได้ดีถ้าไม่แล้วก็ค่อยกลับมาทำนา
Ponchai is one of few who have something to fall back on. But Petmani, a 50-year-old massage therapist in Malaysia, has nothing going for her back home in Ubon Ratchathani.
ช่วงนั้นไม่มีเลยต้องคือกระเสือกกระสนไปหาเงินตรงไหนที่มันได้เยอะอะค่ะเพราะที่ไทยมันไม่ได้มันไม่พอมันไม่มีอะไรให้ทำค่ะมันไม่มีอะไรให้ทำเพราะเราไม่มีความรู้เลี้ยงลูกเลี้ยงแม่แล้วเราหนี้สินก็เยอะเพราะว่ามันไม่มีก็ยืม
Now Petmani is quite comfortable where she is. She has a stable income. She's been promoted to supervisor and is debt-free. She said she will work at this company as long as they still want her. But this country is only for making money. It's not her home. Petmani is saving money and hopefully will start some small business in Ubon Ratchathani when she moves back, maybe in the next 5 or 10 years. Same as Sompan, he will spend his retirement in his hometown in Nong Bo Lampu. He has been planning and preparing to move back home. He hopes it will happen in a year or 2. Sompan's eyes were even twinkling when he talked about what he wanted to do when he retired. Something small, he said.
ตอนนี้ก็เริ่มแพลนว่าจะ อยากจะกลับแล้วฮะเพราะอยู่มา 20 กว่าปีแล้วนะฮะลูกก็โตหมดแล้วลูกก็ทำงานหมดแล้วก็อยากจะกลับไปใช้ชีวิตอยู่ที่บ้านที่หนองบัวลำพูเพราะว่าก็ทำอะไรไว้หลายอย่างแล้วนะฮะเพราะว่าตั้งใจว่าบ้านปลายชีวิตก็อยากไปอยู่สวนทำอะไรเล็กๆน้อยๆในสิ่งที่เราชอบอย่างเงี้ย
ทูลิปนาคสมภพลาวแนทบุญนาค reporting for Thai PBS World
Seeking a better job as well as a better quality of life is actually one of the main reasons for these migrant workers. And now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup.
The Constitutional Court has accepted a petition to rule on Prayut Chan-o-cha's 8-year term in office and suspended him from duty as Thailand's Prime Minister until the court finally decides his fate. The court proceedings are expected to be completed within a month, during which time the cabinet will continue to perform its duties. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Prayut Wongsuwan will serve as acting Prime Minister. Prayut, however, continues in his role as the country's defense minister. The Draft Prevention and Suppression of Torture and Enforced Disappearance Act, with its 34 sections, has finally been passed and will become effective in 4 months, following several years of delay. Under this law, torture and enforced disappearance are defined as criminal offences. It also provides means for the prosecution of government officials for such wrongdoings and protects civil servants who perform their duties in good faith. The call for such a law intensified with recent cases of torture and enforced disappearances. COVID-19 vaccine and vials with maroon caps developed by Pfizer are now approved for use in children aged 6 months to 5 years with 3 injections of 3 milligrams per dose. The vaccine is 80.3% effective at preventing COVID-19. More than 57 million people in Thailand have received at least 1 dose of vaccine to date, 36 million of whom already jabbed with boosters. The SCB Securities Board of Directors has passed a resolution to terminate the purchase of a 51% stake in Bitcorp, worth over 17.8 billion baht, citing Bitcorp's various unresolved issues, the addressing of which was recommended or ordered by Thailand Securities and Exchange Commission. This results from the time frame to resolve those issues being uncertain.
Over the recent suspension of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, we recently talked to Associate Professor Dr. Jet Thonawanik as he shares his views of the future of Thai politics as well as what will actually happen in the cabinet meeting.
The nature of the decision by the Constitutional Court Wednesday might have been unexpected for many people, as it ordered for Prayut Chan-o-cha to cease performing his duties as Prime Minister, while the matter of his 8 years tenure is considered by the court. A legal expert says that although people may want to have the answer today, the earliest the country will get the answer from the court is in 30 days. There is a 15-day window of opportunity for Prayut to submit evidence and documentation to support his case, and another 15 days minimum for the court's deliberations.
Well, I think because as I look into the order, the Constitutional Court allows General Prayut to have 15 days to present whatever he has as well. I don't think it's an answer, as whatever facts that he wanted to present to the court. So within 15 days, they might be taking on the legal issues relating to this particular aspect of General Prayut staying for 8 years, whether or not it's count on 2014, 2017, or 2019. So they can prepare that. Once General Prayut submit the facts that he sees fit, then I think another 15 days, the Constitutional Court should be able to come up with the verdict, the decision.
Now, as for the acting Prime Minister Prayut Wongsuwan, how long he can stay in power in the position depends on the court's ruling. If the court says Prayut can stay on, then that's the end of his role as an acting Prime Minister. But if the verdict goes the other way, it's another story.
As long as if the constitutional court rule that General Prayut stays on. Okay, so if 1 month down the road, the constitutional court rule that General Prayut gets to stay on, then General Prayut will be out of acting prime minister. But if the constitutional court says that, oh, today, this day that we are discussing this issue was the day that General Prayut should have been suspended from his office, then General Prayut should get to stay on as acting, well, at that time will be as caretaker, because the whole cabinet will be out, and therefore the whole cabinet will be caretaker cabinet. And so General Prayut will be caretaker prime minister instead of acting prime minister.
Though the decision by the court has certainly fallen short of the expectations of the opposition parties and street demonstrators who want to see Prayut's term terminated right away, there are many people who believe that the decision is a way to reduce the political tensions.
This is very helpful to General Prayut when the Constitutional Court, because he is out of office, but it's only he himself now, whether or not he will take this situation to be more positive to himself. Working as only Minister of Defense or not working as Minister of Defense even, and appoint General Chai Chan Chang Mongkol to be acting on his behalf, working as the defense minister, then he is off the hook of all the position in the cabinet. Then that will be leaving pretty much no room for the demonstrators to still demonstrating.
One very last question, and I'm pretty sure many people want to know this. What about the possible general elections? How much can we expect this to happen in the very near future?
I don't think the near future will be a month or two.
Right.
I think the near future for us will be about May next year.
Wow.
Okay. But that means ending the term of the parliament and plus 45 days, roughly.
Right.
So I don't think it's coming soon.
Okay.
At least after the APEC meeting.
Yeah.
And I think long after that, I think they will stay on until the end of the term. And they're not going to dissolve the parliament.
So APEC is like a pin in that time frame for
Yeah, of course. It looks good. It looks good. People want to be honored as the chairman of the APEC meeting.
Now let's move on to this story. The bilateral relations between Thailand and Saudi Arabia have been improving recently after both nations agreed to restore their ties earlier this year. The Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Bangkok recently organized an exhibition to showcase their culture and its relations with Thailand. Let's find out more with Kitipat Chunsukhjit.
This year seems to be a golden year for Thailand and Saudi Arabia relations after the two countries agreed to restore full diplomatic ties. But what are the elements that will connect the people of the two countries together? We might be able to find out here at this exhibition. The Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Bangkok has held an exhibition marking one of the first major events held by the embassy in Thailand following the restoration of Thai-Saudi diplomatic relations. The Thai-Saudi Bridge exhibition explains the roles that Saudi Arabia has played in offering assistance to Muslims around the world as well as its ties with Thailand.
ولكن ما تم إنجازه خلال الفترة القليلة الماضية تم إنجاز الكثير وبدأ مواطني البلدين يشعرون بنتائج عودة العلاقات في العديد من المجالات. فجسور سمي المعرض بمعرض جسور هو امتدادا للتبادل الثقافي بين البلدين لمد جسور الثقافة بين البلدين. وأيضا نرحب بأخواننا التايلانديين بزيارة المملكة وأيضا الاستمرار في مد الجسور سواء زيارة المملكة لأداء المناسك العمرة أو الحج أو أيضا للسياحة.
After you step into this exhibition, this will be the first thing that you can see and also can try. This is the Saudi Arabian coffee, which is the welcoming of this exhibition. Thank you so much.
กาแฟของซาอุดีจะเป็นสูตรเฉพาะนะครับเวลาต้มเนี่ยเขาจะใส่พวกเครื่องเทศต่างๆอย่างเช่นลูกกระวานเทศซึ่งจะมีเครื่องเทศหลากหลายชนิดแล้วแต่ว่าสูตรของภาคไหนของแล้วเวลาที่มันออกมามันก็จะมีกลิ่นหอมที่แตกต่างไปจากกาแฟอื่นๆครับจะถือกาทางมือซ้ายนะฮะที่เรียกว่าดุลละซึ่งเป็นทำมาจากทองเหลืองหรือไม่ก็โลหะอย่างอื่นแล้วก็แก้วจะถือกับมือขวาจะคล้ายๆชาชักที่เคาะเสียงอย่างเงี้ยเพื่อที่จะได้บอกให้กับแขกได้รับทราบว่ากาแฟพร้อมแล้วเขาจะได้หันมารับสมมติมีแขกกันหลายคนอย่างเงี้ยเราจะเริ่มเสิร์ฟจากคนที่อยู่ทางขวามือเราก่อนถ้าสมมติอายุไล่เลี่ยกันแต่ถ้าสมมติว่าแขกที่มาด้วยเนี่ยมีคนอาวุโสอยู่สักคนหนึ่งก็จะเริ่มจากผู้อาวุโสก่อน
So he said that this Saudi Arabian coffee is very, very good if you are drinking this with the Saudi Arabian dates. So I'm going to do it right now. The exhibition also has a plenty of free dates which were grown in the eastern part of Saudi Arabia for visitors to sample. After you get your Saudi Arabian dates and coffee, you can bring them to eat while enjoying Saudi Arabian vibes in the Saudi living room, which has been specially prepared for visitors. The exhibition also provides Quran teachers to advise visitors on how to recite the scriptures. ما ودعك ربك وما قلى.
This application from the Ministry of Islamic in Saudi Arabia. This application, it is the virtual learning how to make Hajj or Umrah. The user can select the Hajj or Umrah what he want and do the Hajj by virtual step by step.
Talking about Islamic textbook, this corner will show you a lot of ancient Islamic textbooks, including the Royal Al-Quran, which is the central Islamic textbook. Besides the display of ancient Quran, the exhibition also provides the Quran with a Thai translation for free. An Arabic calligraphy master is also here to write your name in gorgeous Arabic calligraphy. For anyone who wants to explore Thailand and Saudi Arabia relations, the exhibition is taking place at the Foundation of Islamic Center of Thailand until the end of August from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kitipat Sukhjit reporting for Thai PBS World.
And in this episode of Home Away, we recently talked to a Thai application engineer as to how he managed to adapt into the local Vietnamese culture.
ครับผมพินิจนันท์ปัญญานะครับเป็นวิศวกรนะครับก็มาอาศัยอยู่ที่เวียดนามประมาณ3 ปี
He'd been dreaming about living and working abroad since he was young. Then, one day, his dream became a reality.
ก็จริงๆก็เป็นทางเงื่อนไขของทางบริษัทนะครับที่ต้องการคนมาประจำที่เวียดนามก็ประจวบเหมาะกับช่วงที่นั้นเราอยากจะลองประสบการณ์ใหม่ๆก็เลยตัดสินใจที่จะมาเวียดนามผมว่าการใช้ชีวิตที่นี่ก็ไม่ได้แตกต่างจากที่ไทยมากด้วยรูปแบบของอาหารการกินหรือว่าวัฒนธรรมเนี่ยมันก็อาจจะแตกต่างกันนิดหน่อยเพราะว่าเรากับเวียดนามก็ไม่ได้มีวัฒนธรรมที่หรือว่าระยะทางหรือว่าความเป็นเพื่อนบ้านมากกว่ามันก็เลยทำให้วัฒนธรรมการกินเนี่ยอาจจะไม่ได้แตกต่างกันมาก
At the beginning, he was struggling with adapting to the Vietnamese working environment, which is quite slow-paced in his opinion.
แน่นอนมันก็จะมีกำแพงกั้นระหว่างความเป็นคนไทยกับคนเวียดนามเราเองก็ยังด้วยความเป็นเด็กตอนนั้นก็อายุไม่มากก็เข้ามาแล้วมันก็ทำให้อาจจะมีกำแพงกั้นระหว่างพนักงานกับคนที่เข้ามาเมเนจ อาจจะมีการดื้อบ้างหรือว่าไม่เชื่อฟังบ้างอะไรเงี้ยมันก็ค่อนข้างที่จะยากพอสมควรในเรื่องของการทำงานที่รูปแบบของแต่ละคนมันก็ไม่เหมือนกันบางคนอาจจะทำงานดีบางคนอาจจะทำงานไม่ดีหรือบางคนอาจจะทำงานแบบหน้าเดียวหรือว่าแบบทำงานง่ายๆไม่ได้มีอะไรซับซ้อนมาก
Pininan said that language is not a big problem as he can communicate a little in Vietnamese, just enough to survive. When it comes to business, however, sometimes a communication breakdown occurs.
จริงๆอ่ะฝั่งของเวียดนามเนี่ยเท่าที่ผมได้ลองเข้าไปใช้ชีวิตดูเนี่ยของคนเวียดนามเนี่ยค่อนข้างที่จะพูดภาษาอังกฤษเก่งสมควรครับแต่ว่าถ้าในตัวเมืองโอเคผมมีคนที่สามารถพูดสื่อสารภาษาอังกฤษได้100%แล้วก็ดีเลยส่วนฝั่งนอกๆเนี่ยก็ค่อนข้างน้อยอย่างในโซนละแวกที่ผมอยู่เนี่ยก็อาจจะมันหาน้อยครับคนที่พูดภาษาอังกฤษได้ใช่อย่างในฝั่งงานเองก็เหมือนกันเราเองก็อาจจะมีคนที่ซัพพอร์ตในเรื่องของภาษาอังกฤษอยู่บ้างแต่มันอาจจะไม่ตรงตามความต้องการของเราเพราะว่าบริษัทเราไม่มีล่ามใช่มันก็อาจจะมีความหมายคลาดคลึงกันบ้างอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Pininan said living on his own in Hanoi benefits his inner growth. It helps him pay more attention to details while working. It also makes him more careful with spending and planning for his own future.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ